Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I know I'm late with this recap, but as you guys know, I have been busy all this week filming different projects and everything else. And yesterday I spent 11 hours on a celebrity music video. So y'all may or may not see me in this video. It is what it is, but we are all here for what? To sip tea and get this recap popping, honey. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready. Let's go ahead and discuss all the fuckery that went down on Love and Hip Hop New York. How you doing? All right, so in the opening scene, we have Creepo, Broke Pennies, and Malibu Barbie Lynn, aka Kimmy Gibbler, okay? So they're all in the bar. We're picking up where we left off last week. They're getting into it with her. She's upset. She storms out. And basically, Creepo and Broke Penny start arguing over this whole situation with him and Diamond Strawberry. And Creepo saying, you know what? You could have fucked any other girl, but you chose to go after Strawberry. That's messed up. Broke Pennies is telling Creepo, well, you live with me. You made no mention about you and Strawberry. You made it seem like it was no big deal, but now all of a sudden you're sitting here mad. So then all of a sudden, Creepo gets his big tall ass up and he shoves the hell out of Broke Pennies. And Broke Pennies, as we all know, his ass is old as hell. He is no match for Creepo. So security jumps in and Broke Pennies is like, what? It's like that? We're not brothers no more? You bugging like that over Strawberry? You try to use Malibu Barbie to get back at me? I don't give a fuck about that thought. She's a thought. I don't have no feelings for her. You'd have been better off trying to get with somebody I really cared about. Then Creepo says that he's going to try and get with Moniece next time he sees Moniece. I'm like, both of these fools sound like straight up idiots. First of all, Creepo's a walking hypocrite, okay? Now, how is it that a year ago when you and Rich had this same discussion about Strawberry, they don't even call her Diamond, they just call her Strawberry. That's how meaningless this chick is. Now, a year ago, y'all talked about it. Creepo said that there was no hard feelings. He don't care. If y'all want to hit that, y'all can hit that. I'm doing me. But the thing is, if he really cared that much about Diamond, then why was he disrespecting her the entire time throughout their relationship? If you guys remember, he was not only smashing Diamond, he was also going back and forth with his baby's mother as well. And he was talking to other girls during that season too. So Creepo to me is a walking hypocrite. Broke Pennies is a walking hypocrite. I want to make it seem like Malibu Barbie Lynn's just a hoe would jump off in a thought. But my thing is, why is it when it comes to females, they want to shame her, but these guys are no better than she is? You know what I'm saying? They plate multiple women, they swap women, and then when a woman does it to them, they're both sitting here in their fucking feelings. So anyways, Creepo ends up leaving, and of course, Mona Scott couldn't afford to get an Uber for Malibu Barbie Lynn. It's been about 20 minutes, and this bitch is still sitting outside lost and shit. So she goes up to Creepo, and she's like, you know what? That's fucked up. You know, I thought we had something. I thought, like, you know, you was my man, and now you telling me that you was using me to get back at Rich? Like, are you serious right now? Are you serious? You know, she had to go super hood and super Jersey on them. So Creepo's like, you know what? Yeah, I was using you to get back at Rich, you know what I mean? But at first I was feeling you. But then when you told me that you ran back to Rich just because I didn't answer my phone, that was it for me. I'm not dealing with no disrespectful female. I'm not dealing with no disloyalty. Lord, when Creepo said that he's not dealing with no disloyal chick, y'all have to clutch my invisible damn pearls. I know this fool ain't talking about somebody being disloyal when he's not been faithful to any chick. And let's not forget, earlier this season, he was talking to Miss No Money and played her for Mariah Lynn. So Creepo's a walking contradiction and a hypocrite. He needs to have several damn seats acting like he's so above Mariah Lynn. You guys are in the same damn boat. All y'all are using each other for fame and for a storyline. I'm gonna need all three of these mofos to have several damn seats, okay? How you doing? Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Yorma and her messy ass sister, Shimmy, Sha. I don't know what the hell her name is. But anyway, she comes to basically, you know, stir up the pot. So she comes to see her sister, and she's asking her sister what's up with, you know, DJ Selfish Instagram. And Yorma's like, you know, what are you talking about? What do you mean what's up with his Instagram? And she's like, well, yeah, there's this picture of him and some other girl, you know what I mean, on his Instagram page, and they're looking out, you know, buddy. Of course, Yorma's ass is just completely clueless. So the sister ends up showing Yorma the picture, but then she's like, hold that bitch, I got even more tea for your ass. She ends up playing an audio of DJ Selfish basically shouting out Rose's boutique up in Dykeman. And when DJ Selfish calls Rose during the show, you can tell that there's a lot of chemistry there. She's super happy. She's acting like DJ Selfish is her boyfriend. So now Yorma's feeling some type of way, and her sister, Shimmy, Sha. Her sister's basically saying that she knows where this shop is at. It's right up the street in Dykeman. They're not far from Dykeman, so they might as well go pay this chick a visit. So now Yorma's like, well, you know what? I don't know. I don't want to be the crazy girlfriend, but you know, I'm just, you know, I want to trust self, but something about him is just making me not trust him. So Yorma and her sister decide to go pay Rose and them a visit out in Dykeman. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Remy Ma and Yandy, and they're basically meeting up at the bridal shop. Yandy's acting like this is her motherfucking wedding 2.0. She wants Remy Ma and all these sparkles and pearls and everything else. Remy Ma ain't having it. She's saying that she doesn't like sparkles and bling and pearl. I don't know who the hell made Remy Ma, but most females like sparkles and shit, especially on their wedding day. So I find that really weird that she doesn't like sparkles and, you know, shiny stuff. But Yandy's literally trying to take over this girl's wedding. And you can tell Remy Ma is not there for it. She has like a really, you know, she has like another chip on her fucking shoulder. So Yandy's like, you know, what's up, Remy? You know, what's going on? You don't seem like your usual self. You know, what's wrong? And Remy's like, you know what? I'm going through a lot of stuff right now. And, you know, I'm just really upset because, you know, my mom told me, I don't even know why me and my mom got up into it, but she done told me that she's not coming to my wedding. Like, you know, what kind of shit is that? And to top it off, you know what I mean, Papoose wants me to reach back out to her and re-invite her to the wedding. I feel like, you know what, I'm not going to beg nobody to come to my wedding. I'm tired of feeling like I'm always begging people to come do stuff for me. So Yandy's like, you know what, Remy, I feel you. You know, I went through a lot last year with my wedding with my mother-in-law, but you're going to feel like shit if you have this wedding and your mother's not there. You need to reach out to her. You need to be the bigger person because that's your mother. You need to reach out to her and find out what's going on. So now Remy Ma has an attitude, honey. She's upset that basically Yandy's telling her the same thing that Papoose done told her, that she needs to be the bigger person. She needs to put on her big girl draws and then call her mama and really get down to the nitty gritty of what's going on in their relationship. So she decides to possibly take Yandy up on her advice. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Medicaid, aka Mandeecees. Now, we ain't seen his ass in a while, but he's here in the studio with, of all people, Cameron. Is everybody from New York trying to make a guest appearance on Love and Hip Hop New York? It just makes no sense. So anyways, they're in the studio together, and Mandeecees is saying that basically he wants to talk to Cameron about his sneaker line, you know, because Cameron is known to rock the latest shit, and he has a lot of influence on people, and that, you know, if Cameron rocks his sneakers, it's gonna make people want to run out and go buy these sneakers. Now I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is Mandeecees talking about? Cameron ain't influenced shit in fashion since 2000, back when he had a bunch of grown-ass men walking around here wearing fucking pink. That's the last thing that Cameron influenced, and that style wasn't cute at all for men, in my personal opinion, but to each his own. But it was good to see Cameron because we ain't seen him in a minute. So then after they get done talking about the whole sneaker situation, Mandeecees then announces to the world that, you know, while he was in prison, he was busy, you know, writing in the pen, and, you know, he had so much time to think. He was basically getting his Tupac on, you know what I mean, writing lyrics. He says he's never been a rapper, but he has a hot 16 that he wants to spit for Cam. And Cam is like, what? You have a hot 16? Now, you know, every dude in NY got a hot 16. I need to hear what you working with. I need you to get up in the booth. So, of course, Cameron already has a beat and everything laid out for him. This whole shit is just crazy as hell. Medicaid gets in the booth and he starts rapping about how he's not a snitch. He ain't never had to snitch on nobody. So he spits his little 16 and Cameron is giving all types of props and praising him. You know, you did that, boy. I didn't know you had it up in you, son. You did such a good job, Mandeecees. He's like, man, yo, that's what's up. And I'm just sitting here like, really? Was it that good? Oh, okay. But anyways, y'all, I got some extra tea for y'all. Make sure you guys have your teacups ready, honey, because I'm going to break it down to y'all as to why Mandeecees kicked that 16. Check this out. So anyways, this is why Medicaid came out with that 16, okay? The reason why he dropped that is basically a few weeks ago, Jim Jones took to Instagram and he basically blasted Cameron for hanging out with Mandeecees. Him and Chrissy found out that Cameron had filmed this scene and he basically called him out for hanging out with a snitch. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people on the streets are saying that Mandeecees snitched because if this was anybody else, they would have got the full 20 years. So I want you guys to go ahead and check out these screenshots and what Jim Jones had to say. Check this out and I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Tell me who the fuck I'm snitching on, never that. Never that, I never been a rat, I'm out on bail. 650,000 to be exact. Salute a nigga, you should tell me bravo if you knew what I did before I managed Vital Street, nigga.
right, so you guys just saw what Jim Jones and Cameron had to say on Instagram. So this is why Medicaid dropped that 16 about him not snitching. As we all know, Yandy paid $650,000 to bail Mandeecees out of jail. So when he starts rapping about who the fuck I snitched on, never that, I was like, okay, anyways, Mandeecees sounds like a typical Harlem rapper from the year 2000, okay? How you doing? So the next thing we have Remy Ma and Papoose, and Remy Ma's in the house doing something. The doorbell rings and she demands that Papoose run and open the door. So Papoose runs to open the door, and shocker, in walks Remy Ma's mother. Okay, so Remy Ma's mom comes in, and Remy Ma has an attitude, and her mom is just, she looks really sad. It's like she really wants to make amends with her daughter, and Remy Ma's not really trying, and Papoose is starting to feel some type of way, and Remy Ma's telling her, I don't appreciate you saying that you don't want to come to my wedding. Mother is telling Remy, the only reason why I said that is because I didn't feel like you wanted me there. I feel like you hate me at times. She was like, it's not right that my son-in-law had to call me and invite me to your wedding as opposed to my daughter calling me and inviting me personally. And Remy's like, you know what? What's the big deal? Regardless if I invite you or if Papoose invites you, it don't matter. You got an invite. And Papoose is like, Remy, just calm down. Y'all need to really talk about this. I'm going to go ahead and give y'all space. So Papoose ends up walking out the room. And Remy starts talking to her mom, and she's saying that she's upset because she feels like, her mom should have been there for her more. And her mom's like, well, you know what? Can I get credit for something? I came up to see you, but I didn't have no money like that. I didn't have money to come see you every day. You want me to come up there every day? I couldn't do it. If I could come a few times a month, I would go. But it's like, you're not realizing that we went through a lot while you was in there. Now, I gotta keep it 100 with y'all, and I know some of you Remy Ma stans may not like this, but y'all know I don't give a shit. I fucks with Remy Ma, don't get me wrong. I like Remy Ma, but she has been getting on my nerves lately, okay? I feel like she's a bit selfish and a bit self-absorbed, okay? First of all, Remy Ma needs to be grateful that her mother even came to see her one time, let alone demanding that her mother come see her every day. You got people who are locked up in prison who don't get no visits, no letters, no nothing. On top of that, her mother was raising her son while she did those 6 years in the joint. The least she could have did was call her mother directly and say, you know what, Ma, I appreciate you for everything you did for me. You took on the responsibility of taking care of my son while I was away. I want you to come to my wedding. She should have asked her mom directly as opposed to just leaving it on to Papoose. She has an attitude and she has such a chip on her shoulder. She's not realizing how blessed she is. You got women out here who ain't never been arrested, who ain't never did no time, who don't have no good man in their corner, who don't have nobody in their life really, really positive. Remy Ma has her son, she has her mother, she has her mother-in-law, she has a doting, fiance/husband who literally worships the ground that she walks on. And she's constantly having a chip on her shoulder. And to me, it's just starting to get on my nerves now. You know what I'm saying? Instead of trying to shame everybody and make everybody feel bad because they didn't come visit you in prison every day, I just think that's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Be happy for the shit that they did for you while you was away for 6 years. Who fed your son? Who took care of your son? You know what I mean? Your mother, your mother-in-law, and Papoose. They all stepped in to raise your child. My thing is, if you want to see your family every day, if you want to see your mom every day, if you want to see your son every day, how about you keep your ass out of prison? You know what I mean? That's how you resolve that. We all make mistakes, but you don't sit there and hold your mistakes over somebody else's head. Your mother didn't get you sent away. You got yourself sent away. You know what I mean? She did 6 years in prison because Remy Ma chose to shoot somebody, okay? So I don't understand how she's trying to twist this around and make this everybody else's fault for supposedly not having her back. From the way she was talking, she made it seem like her mother never wrote her, never came to see her. And the mother was just saying, I just couldn't come see you every day because I couldn't afford it. I'm going to need Remy Ma to just calm down a little bit and be very, very appreciative of the blessings that she has in her life. You know how many women do time in prison and literally have nothing to show for it when they get out? They don't have a TV show. They can't just pick up where they left off. They're literally having to start over from scratch. And this woman is being blessed with fame, money. Her fans are supporting her. I mean, she needs to look at the bigger picture and stop with the constant complaining and the constant whining about who was there for her and who wasn't there for her, because it's starting to irritate the hell out of me, and that's real talk. And y'all can get mad all y'all want to, but I'm just keeping it 100 right now. That whole scene just really, really irritated me because you could tell her mother really loves her and her mother's really hurt by how Remy's treating her. But anyway, so after this whole going back and forth, Remy finally asks her mother, you know what I mean, will you come to my wedding? I'm personally inviting you. I want you there in my wedding. So her mother says yes, that she would gladly accept, and her mother feels, just elated. She wants to tell the world that she's going to her daughter's wedding, and that's all her mother mother wanted. You know what I mean? It's like, was that hard to personally call your mother and ask her yourself as opposed to leaving it on Papoose? You know, she needs to really check her attitude before she ends up losing everybody around her, because people get tired of, you know, the constant mood swings and the constant throwing shit in their face. That shit gets old after a while. In a minute, Papoose, the mama, and everybody else are going to start chucking her the deuces if she doesn't bring it down a few notches. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Yorma and her sister shimmy, shimmy, sha, sha, sha. So they decide to go visit Rose's beauty bar in Dykeman. First of all, I'm gonna need Rose's sister not to be named Rosie. How the hell you have two sisters and one is named Rose and the other one is named Rosie? That's as bad as Peter Gunz naming his son Corey and his daughter Corey. It's like, what the hell is wrong with people? Are we that lazy that we can't think of two separate names for our children? You know, the whole situation is a mess. Anyways, Yorma and her sister walk up in there. I mean, just looking ratchet as hell. You know, coming up in this beauty bar. Yeah, I need to talk to you, you know, about DJ Selfish. And Rose is like, okay, what about him? And she's like, well, yeah, I heard, you know, him shouting you out on the radio, and you know the way you responded to him just kind of threw me off. I'm trying to figure out y'all's relationship. Now Rosie the whole time knows that this is Yorma, because she says that Yorma's a basic bitch who's always on Instagram crying over DJ Selfish. So she knows exactly who Yorma is, and so she tells Yorma like, yeah, me and DJ Selfish are cool. I've been knowing him for several years now, and yeah, me and him are talking. So Yorma's like, you know what, how are you talking when that's my boyfriend? Me and him have been kicking it for a while now. I don't appreciate you being up on my man. So now Rosie, the sister's like, nah, first of all, you don't know anything. DJ Selfish is like family, and we don't have to explain ourselves to you. You know what I mean? Y'all's not talking about no money. Y'all's not talking about buying anything. Y'all might want to leave. So now Yorma's sister, shimmy, shimmy, sha, 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 is like, bitch, y'all got me fucked up. Y'all can come up from around that corner. So I'm like, why the fuck is her sister just so crunk? You know what I mean? You know, to me, they had no business even coming to confront Rose. You take that up with your ratchet ass man, not with her. Now, Rose comes running from around the corner. She's ready to fight. Security ends up grabbing Rose, and then Yorma and her trashy sister start pulling down all of Rose's clothes and breaking shit and throwing stuff off the counter. To me, I lost all respect for Yorma in that minute. It's one thing to have a few words. It's one thing to even get into a physical fight. But you don't come up in somebody else's place of business that they worked hard for and start trashing their shit, ripping up their clothes, throwing stuff off the counter. I would have to get through security and whoop Yorma's ass. You don't do no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I respect Rose for having her own business, unlike Yorma, okay? But we're going to go ahead and talk about that in the next scene. Moving on. In the next scene, we have Remy Ma and Papoose. And Remy Ma is really happy now that her mom is coming to her wedding. So she decides to take Papoose out to dinner. She wants to basically wine and dine him. And so Papoose gets there. You know, he's really excited to see Remy and, you know, to eat dinner with her and everything. And Remy decides to drop the bomb on Papoose and basically says that she does not like the venue and that she wants basically a Frozen, a Winter Wonderland wedding theme, and that the castle theme is not going to work because the grass is going to be all dead. There's not going to be no snow. She wants an ice rink. She wants the wedding of her dreams. So now Papoose is feeling some type of way. He's like, but hold up now. It's not that I just took you to the castle. I also put down a large deposit on this. How do you just switch this up at the last minute? And Remy Ma's like, well, you know what? I just changed my mind. You need to make it happen. I want it at a different venue. I want ice skating rinks. I want skaters. And she just has this list of demands, but not realizing that this man went out his way to get her this castle, to put his money down. And she's basically shitting on his whole, you know, his whole dream that he had for her wedding that she had initially told him that she wanted was a castle wedding. But, you know, Papoose, being the good man that he is, he says, you know what, this is Remy's day. She's only going to have one wedding. And if he has to lose out on his deposit that he put down on that castle, that's just what he's going to have to do to make her wedding dreams come true. So Papoose decides to basically roll with Remy's plan. You know, so that whole situation was just crazy. I think Remy Ma needs to really appreciate the man that she has in Papoose, because there's not a lot of guys like that who would sit there and basically lose out on thousands of dollars at the drop of a dime just because she changed her mind. Moving on to the next scene. So the next scene, we had DJ Selfish, Yorma, and Shimmy Shimmy Sha Sha Sha. So anyways, they go to DJ Selfish's job and they buzz him and he answers and he's like, you know, what's going on? And Yorma's like, you need to get down here right now. I need to talk to you right away. So DJ Selfish reluctantly comes downstairs looking like damn Carlton Banks. And he's like, you know, what's going on here? You know, why is your sister here? And she's like, well, my sister's been with me all day, so I feel comfortable talking to her in front of you. I don't even give a shit no more. We just got back from Dykeman. We went to Rose's Beauty Bar. And, you know, DJ Selfish is like, you went to Rose's Beauty Bar. Did you go get your nails done? And she's She's like, hell no, I ain't gonna get my nails done. I went to go confront her because I seen the pictures of you and her on Instagram, and then I heard the phone call when you called her on the radio station, and I feel like there's more going on with y'all's relationship. And her sister, Shimmy Shimmy Sha Sha Sha, pulls out the phone and she's like, you know what, DJ Selfish, do you recognize the man in that picture? And he's like, yeah, that's me. You know what I mean? What's the big deal? I take pictures with a lot of females. And Yorma's like, no, it's not the point that you took a picture with her. It's the point that you didn't tell me about it. So DJ Selfish is like, okay, so when I'm in the club, I'm supposed to tell you about every single female, every single person I take a picture with? That don't make no sense. So Yorma's like, you know what? You better stop playing stupid before you get jumped out here. So now she's getting up in DJ Selfish's face. And she's like, the way that girl talked, she said that you and her were kicking it. And DJ Selfish is like, no, me and her are not kicking it. You know what I mean? I went out with her or whatever. She was feeling me, but you know, we're not kicking. I didn't do nothing with her. So Yorma's like, did you kiss her? And then all of a sudden, he just does this long-ass pause, and he's like, nah, she kissed me. I'm like, DJ Selfish is a damn mess. I was cracking up when he said that. But the thing that caught me by surprise when DJ Selfish is like, you know what? You're tripping off of me taking pictures with girls, but do I trip when guys touch you? So now I'm like, hold up now, touch on you. What the fuck did Yorma do for a living? But then I looked at her big, saggy, fake ass and I realized, oh yeah, she's a stripper. You know, why did I assume that she was some type of housewife or some type of classy woman? Of course she's a stripper. So there you have it, Yorma's a stripper. And ain't nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? But it's very obvious that DJ Selfish definitely has a certain type, okay? The way that he was messing with Cardi B and she's also a stripper. Now we're finding out that Yorma's a stripper on the low. Even though he didn't call her a stripper, ain't nobody touching on you if you work in a corporate job, honey. The only folks who are just touching on you like that where he's not tripping is because she's a stripper. So I'm gonna need Yorma to calm all the way down. She's a bit too extra. You know, then in her confessional, she's like, you know what? I'm not no weak bitch. I'm not gonna let no dude disrespect me. I'm done with this relationship. And I'm like, but you are a weak bitch because after Cardi B told you that basically they were smashing, you took him back. So to me, that was weak, and Cardi B whooped your ass and you still took him back. But now this whole situation with Rose is the final straw. He didn't even smash Rose. Girl gone. Both her and her sister need to have several damn seats. Her sister just seems real miserable, like she has nothing going on in her life. That's why she's so obsessed with her big sister's life. I'm gonna need Shimmy Shimmy Sha 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 to go shimmy shimmy her ass back to Dykeman, okay? Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Dirty Feet Pete and Broke Pennies. Dirty Feet Pete is still in his feelings. He said that he's not talked to Amina or Tara since the whole situation went down where he told Amina that Tara was pregnant and he needs somebody to talk to. So he's going to go sit and chill with Rich. And this scene had me kind of cracking up because if y'all did not notice, Dirty Feet Pete had himself a teacup, honey, and his ass was sipping slow. I was like, get that tea, Pete. Go ahead and get that damn tea. That whole shit had me cracking up. The thing that bothered me with this entire conversation, one, Dirty Feet Pete tells Rich Dollars that basically he got both Amina and Tara pregnant at the same time, but Amina had an abortion, whereas Tara kept the baby. Broke Pennies is shocked, and he's saying, you know what, you need to calm down. You're just being too reckless. Basically trying to give Dirty Feet Pete advice that his ass ain't taking himself. But the thing that tripped me out with this whole conversation is that Broke Pennies is letting Dirty Feet Pete know about what happened between him and Creepo and how they got into it over Mariah Lynn, some bitch that he was smashing, and how basically, you know, the Creep Squad is breaking up because Creepo's tripping, he's on his feelings. And so Dirty Feet Pete is like, nah, I'm never gonna let the Creep Squad break up. You know what I mean? We've been down from day one. You know, we've been brothers. We are the Creep Squad. And I'm sitting here looking at this shit like these men are damn near in their 50s, okay? Dirty Feet Pete is not only a father, but a grandfather. Broke Pennies may be a grandfather, who knows? But what we do know is that both of these men, and also Creepo, they're all fathers to daughters. And yet these grown men are proud to proclaim themselves as creeps. It's like, what the hell is going on in this world when you have grown men who are proud to be players, who are proud to break hearts, who are proud to be fucking around on women, you know what I'm saying, playing the shit out of women. Like, they pride themselves in this, and this is just sad and sickening. This is something I expect from a bunch of 21-year-old men, not men who are damn near in their 50s, okay? Watching these guys pat themselves on the back for being creeps made me just want to tune out altogether. I just thought that this whole situation was just sick. And like I always say, men who have these nasty attitudes towards women and who love playing women and cheating on women, they get their karmas via their daughter. So the same tears that these women are crying over Dirty Feet Pete, Broke Pennies, and Creepo are the same tears they're going to be wiping off their daughters' faces. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Remy Ma, and she's meeting up with Ra Ali. And so Ra Ali had me cracking up in this scene. She has not heard from Remy Ma since everything went down at the fashion show. So now Remy Ma is basically coming back to her, begging her to help her with her wedding. And she wants her to find a wedding dress. And Ra's like, oh, so now you need me to help you even though you literally dropped the ball at my fashion show. But you know, I'm going to give you the petty award. I'm not going to be as petty as you. I'm going to help you out. So Remy's like, well, you know what? You're right. At least I can admit I'm petty. You know what I'm saying? But I really need help because this is just so much work. And then she tells Ra that she also enlisted Yandy to help her. Ra Ali's looking at Remy like, oh, really? So because you weren't able to talk to me for the past few weeks, you went and found a new friend with Yandy? Oh, how sweet. And so Remy Ma's like, you know what, whatever. And so while they're talking, all of a sudden Yandy walks in with her waist trainer and Yandy's just super excited. And Ra Ali's looking at her like, who let this bitch up in here? You know, Ra is keeping it all the way 100. So they're sitting down and Remy's like, you know what, Ra, this is Remy. Yandy, this is Ra. And they're looking at each other like, bitch, we know we both fuck Mandeecees. How you doing? If you guys remember, I showed y'all a few weeks ago where their beef stemmed from. Their beef stems from Ra Ali basically saying that Mandeecees has a small wiener. So the whole situation is a mess. You know, Remy Ma wants them to talk and both ladies are looking at each other like, whatever. And all you hear is crickets playing in the background. They're not even really acknowledging each other. So Yandy's talking all this shit in the confessional. She's like, you know what? I don't understand why Ra's sent her all screw-faced and she don't want to speak and shit. I'm gonna need Ra Ali to do her job and basically find Remy Ma some shoes, okay? So what I've noticed is that Yandy, she's a confessional gangster, okay? Unlike Ra Ali, she says what she needs to say right there in the open in front of anybody. Because as we all know, Ra Ali's a crazy bitch. That bitch is about that life. She will cut a motherfucker and not think twice, okay? So Remy Ma saying that she wants Yandy to be in charge of the flowers. So Ra Ali's like, oh, okay. Yandy, do you know her favorite flower? Yandy's like, no. She's like, oh, do you know her favorite color? And Yandy's like, no. She's like, do you know her birthday? And she's like, no. Ra Ali's like, well, Remy, why don't you tell Yandy, you know, all these things, let her know your birthday and your favorite flower and the color. And Remy's like, no, you tell her. And Ra Ali's like, no, being that you and her are new BFFs, she should know all this. So I'm like, okay, bitch, all right, let me go ahead and sip to that shade, honey. I couldn't do nothing but sip slow. I was like, damn, Ra Ali was throwing major shade. But she's definitely telling the truth. The only reason why Yandy's not clinging close to Remy Ma is because she has no storyline. Mandeecees is about to go to jail. So Mona Scott has to find something to do with Yandy. So now they're acting like, you know, Yandy and Remy Ma are all of a sudden tight. Ra Ali's keeping it all the way 100. Yandy does not know Remy Ma whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? She's just there for the storyline. But at the end of the day, Ra Ali's coming off like a bitter, scorned girlfriend or something. You know, she gives me like a bisexual lesbian vibe about her. As if she was locked up with Remy Ma, you know what I'm saying, in prison, and she was like Remy Ma's girlfriend or some shit. You know, like she goes really, really hard for Remy that it's almost suspect, honey. That it's almost suspect, honey. So that whole little scene had me cracking up. Moving on to the last and final scene. So in the last and final scene, we had the Creep Squad meeting. Basically, Dirty Feet Pete is there. Creepo's there and Broke Pennies is there and they're looking like some broke ass godfathers. You know, they got the serious music on and Dirty Feet Pete is like, you know what, we're brothers. You know, we need to come together. We need to all be one creep squad. We can't be, you know, letting women divide us and everything else. And once again, I'm just looking at this sad ass me like I'm gonna need all three of these men who have daughters to have several damn seats. This was a meeting of the idiots, okay? Not a meeting of the creep squad. All these men look stupid as hell talking about how they're so proud to be creeps and players and everything else. I'm gonna need all three of them to have several damn seats. You know what I'm saying? This whole situation to me was just stupid. It wasn't needed. But at the end of their dumbass meeting, Creepo and Broke Pennies decide to put their differences aside and go back to being creep brothers. You know what I'm saying? So that whole situation was stupid as hell. But I will be here next week, honey, for Peter's penis intervention, okay? How you doing? So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop New York. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.